Huh. I am now live. Okay. Um, I just realized. It didn't go live a couple of minutes ago. So here I am, and it's a little weird because my goals with this, honestly, really all I want to do is I don't have a lot of expectations for the stream, and I don't have any big plans apart from just really enjoying doing this because I really like drawing, and I've got some time, and also um, also I just kind of want to hang out with some of my buddies, you know, get some Skype calls and talk about stuff. I don't know, uh, movies and comics and so on and so forth, and just have some fun. Drink a beer. Even though I'm not drinking beer, I'm currently drinking Diet Mountain Dew. Refreshing. Um, so anyway, I don't know. I don't know how many people are. I think the viewer count is not always super accurate. It seems to not. There's like a little bit of a delay, I think. Um, but this is kind of my first real stream. I mean, I did a stream yesterday with a buddy of mine calling in, and that was kind of just testing it out. And really, that's all I'm doing today is kind of testing this whole process out and sort of shaking it down and getting an idea of how this is going to work. Um, the thing that makes it a little awkward doing it right now, just sort of live streaming during the day like this, is I don't have anybody I can talk to, and I can't exactly play music because YouTube will slap me, which actually happened yesterday. I mean, I didn't get like a strike or anything, you know, it's not a copyright strike, but it just, they're like, you're using music, stop doing that. I wonder if I play it really low. I wonder what the threshold is for being able to get away with playing like something really low, just so I can hear something. Because usually, if I'm working like this, if it's just me sitting in here and doing some work on some comics, some comic art, um, then I'm almost always listening to something. Um, and my tastes are weird. And by weird, I don't mean like funky things that you've never heard of. I just mean like sometimes I'm listening to like 90s playlists. Sometimes I'm listening to like 80s playlists. Sometimes I'm listening to I've got a hankering for classical music. And sometimes I'm listening to like nothing but synthwave for hours. Just depends on what I'm working on. Sort of changes what it is I'm you know. But anyway, but I need music because it's weird to just sit here and talk while I'm doing this. I need somebody to like tell me things, to poke me so I can be interesting. The the iPad Pro absolutely. I mean, and I don't think this is an exaggeration. It kind of literally changed my life in a lot of ways. If I'd had one of these 10 years ago, I'd be a comics publisher right now. It's that good. I mean, now you have the tools to pretty literally make a comic from beginning to end just on a tablet, um, sitting in a Starbucks. And I mean, from end to end, you know, down to getting it published. Um, and that's kind of extraordinary, obviously. God only knows what it's going to be like in about 10 years or so. You'll be able to make the equivalent of a 2020 major feature film on an iPhone in 20 years. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I can promise you that the backdrop here behind me is going to look a lot more interesting and and a little bit less messy. Um, I'm missing my aquarium. I used to have an aquarium right here. Actually, it was on the top of that. It was in front of that comics wall, and had to get rid of it a couple of weeks ago. Or about a week ago. Kind of bummed out. So I'm thinking about doing these live streams about every other night, and then also just sort of some random streams like the one I'm doing right now. Just, I mean, this is really more for my benefit than anything, and I have no idea who's actually gonna be watching this once it goes live on YouTube, or the recording. But welcome. Oh, that was Skype. Jeff, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. But I mean, I think I can definitely see doing this. I mean, I gotta have somebody to talk to, and somebody who you can hear too. So so it doesn't get just. I mean, just me sitting here drawing can't be all that interesting for too long, especially because it's a little slow going. It's actually pretty cool to be able to look up on the monitor and see the board sort of small, because I can. It's kind of easier to see composition when it's small like that. You're not really paying attention to details. You're just sort of looking at it as a page. And one of the sort of unexpected benefits of doing the live stream is I can look up on the monitor and see this tiny little image. So I can kind of see the composition a little bit more clearly than having my face buried in it. It's oh, somebody in the chat, Mixel Pixel. Thanks, very much appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, this is new. I'm totally new. I have no idea what I'm doing. Literally, I am the dog meme that you've seen. I have no idea what I'm doing. So welcome aboard. Let's see. If you're curious about the layers, I'm gonna merge a few of these down. I'm starting to get a little out of control. There's the rock color. What's this? What's this business? That appears to be an accident, so let's get rid of that. What's this business? Oh, that's more rocks. Let's get that merged. So, here's the black and white art. Oh, that's Jeff. Hey, Jeff, what's up, man? Mixel. I don't know. Well, actually, come to think of it, that sounds familiar now. Yeah, I think I remember. I think I remember Mixel Pixel. And there is Kevin. What's up, Kevin? Careful, because Kevin's already demanded power. The first thing he said last night on the live stream when I said, "Hey, you can watch the chat," was, "Does he have the power to ban people?" There's not even anybody in the damn stream, and the first thing he says is, "Can I ban people?" Yes, Kevin, you can ban people, buddy. All right. And once again, guys, the delay on the chat is a little weird. So if you type and you don't hear an answer for 30 seconds, it's because I'm just seeing it. Boy, it's really just kind of hitting the top of my head when I draw on it. All right. You know, now the more I look at this, the more and these are the kinds of issues that I think, I don't know if a lot of artists have to deal with this, but I do. Where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, I kind of wish now that I'd put this in tabloid format, so that it's a little, a little taller. With great power to ban people comes great responsibility. That it does. I don't know if Kevin's ready for that kind of responsibility. Kevin, buddy. Is my audio okay? Do I sound pretty much okay? Oh, and you can tell the difference in the layers. Do you see down here off the artboard? There is a see, there's like a line down here, sort of a dark line under the board, under where the art is. That's a vector layer. The vector layers can sort of go off the canvas. The pixel layers can't. You know, I think this is, there's still some detail to do, but I'm digging that. I'm digging sort of how it's looking. The nice purpley, well, yeah, Kevin, there wouldn't be a delay because we're not on the, you're not Skyping me, buddy. Audio can't be that great because I'm just using the mic on the computer. The thing that I always like, I'm always sort of struggling with is I so much have a tendency to overdraw and overcolor, and I don't stop. I don't stop when I should, and I mean, for me. I certainly can't speak for other artists, but for me, it is a huge problem. Like, is it done? And you know, it comes down to kind of a choice of like the kind of aesthetic that you want. And again, the aesthetic that I'm going for is something that is very informed by classic comics. I mean, if I wanted, I could get a lot crazier about, you know, sort of color but I kind of want this simpler palette, you know, and these harder lines. Um, I think it makes it. I think it makes it just has a. It just it feels fun to me. And you know, again, I'm not saying that um, I'm not saying that, you know, the very sort of airbrushed kind of art uh, is not good. Far from it. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. But as far as the kind of stuff that I want to make, you know, I really like this kind of old school vibe. I guess you could say in a way it's almost like it feels more like a kid's comic to me. Um, hmm. Not high there. What? I don't understand. I didn't realize until I listened to my last stream, listened to the playback this morning, how heavy I was breathing. And it's partially uh, the air has just really got my head screwed up, and so I mean I'm probably at least 35% snot at this point. But God, it was so annoying. I apologize. But you know, it's I really miss talking about comics. Um, and I'll be straight up, like I barely pay attention to what's going on in comics today. Um, I am dimly aware of what the two big houses are doing, and I'm familiar with some of the things that are particularly popular, but I'm just familiar with the fact that they exist. You know, I don't I haven't read any of them. Um, and I don't know. I kind of I just miss talking about comics, and certainly miss drawing comics. I feel like in a way, um, we've had a lot of really good comic book movies, and comic book movies have become sort of the standard. You know, that's what people think of when they think of big budget movies now. Is it's this comic franchise or that comic franchise, and I think there's a lot about that that's great. Um, Certainly, they're all. I mean, like the Marvel movies are all really great movies. I mean, they're good movies. The worst of the Marvel movies are still good movies. Um, but at the same time, I do lament a little bit. Um, I do lament a little bit, sort of what has happened to comics because of comic book movies. I think it's set up, you know, the sort of normal sort of thing you'd expect to happen with a market happens, which is, hey, these comic book movies are super popular, and if we want to sell more comic books, we need to reflect the movies in the comic books more. And that's a logical decision to make, but from the sense of like art, I think maybe we've lost a little something in doing that. Uh, Not at all to you know, say that the creators that are making that stuff are bad or at fault or anything. Far from it. I mean, like I was saying, there are so many really great creators working right now. But um, but it just seems like that it's kind of the tail has been wagging the dog for the last few years, and the comics have started getting so complicated. Every now and then, I'll try to like dip my toe back in to sort of get a feel of what's going on in sort of the big universes, and I just don't understand it. It's so it's it's really confusing. Um, I mean, maybe they're great stories, but I'm just saying they're it's so confusing to even get a handle on what's going on. Like there's, and I feel like it's because the stories have become so complicated. Um, because people want new things out of their comics. I mean, you know, the whole reason you get you know, these big sort of turnovers in these comic book universes is because after a while, just doing the same thing over and over and over again, you know, Batman swings down and beats up Penguin, and there's a twist, and you know, like over time, you have to do something different just to keep it relevant. Um, but to me, that sort of is a good reason to you're nervous to listen to your voice from last night's show. No, you sounded good, man. You sound fine, totally fine. Um, you know, I think about like Mandalorian. Uh, the Mandalorian is a great show, and the reason it's a great show is the old trick of not trying to do everything. It's a great show because it's relatively simple and straightforward, and it's so you read more. You know, you take more. There's not a lot of dialogue. You read more into the stuff that's going on the screen, and the story's simpler. It doesn't need to be super complicated, and it's enjoyable because it focuses on the right kinds of elements. And in a way, that's kind of what I want to see happen with comics again. Is I want them to slow down and simplify a little bit, and sort of back off some of the the power inflation. You know, bigger, more powerful, bigger stories. Everybody's in the book. That's been really the confusing thing for the last several years. Like whenever I pick up a Marvel book, great art. Maybe the stories are great. Um, I mean, most of the time I'm really kind of just looking at the art. Um, but the thing that gets really confusing with what they've done with the Marvel books is like it used to be like when I was a kid, and it's that time of the day, boys and girls, when old man shakes fist at cloud. But when I was a kid, see you, Jeff. When I was a kid, and you know, and you'd pick up a comic, and you had X Men and X Factor and Spider Man, and the Amazing Spider Man and Spectacular Spider Man, and you had Captain America, you had the Avengers, you had the West Coast Avengers, and all those books were very different. And now it sort of seems like I guess they're going for like corporate synergy or something. It seems like you pick up any one of those books, and they just seem like they're the same. They're the same book. So like, you know, you pick up an Avengers book, and there's a bunch of X-Men in the panel, and it's like they put as many characters into the panels as they can fit in there. Everybody's in sort of costume, and they're just standing around in like the Avengers mansion, I assume. And uh, and but there's X-Men, and there's Avengers, and there's, you know, Doctor Strange, and like everybody's an Avenger and everybody's an X-Man. It's just like this has been going on for years. It's really confusing to me. I mean, maybe it's great. Like I said, uh, I'm a working man. I haven't had a lot of time to really dig into it that far. So maybe it's fantastic. But I just know that, like, you know, some of my favorite comics I remember, like when I was growing up, would be the smaller stories. I remember like you pull up a Daredevil book, and what was going on in Daredevil had absolutely nothing to do with anything going on in X-Men. I mean, and obviously you had crossovers. You had a lot of crossovers, and it was a shared universe. But you never really thought that much about it. And you certainly didn't have these big montages of, you know, everybody in the Marvel Universe having a barbecue. And it seems like that's the kind of thing that's kind of become, I don't know. I mean, again, bear in mind, you're hearing this from, these are impressions from somebody who doesn't really read these that much. Old man yells at cloud. It's looking pretty dang good. Oh my God, I need music. Incidentally, when you see me doing that where I'm zooming in and out a lot, part of that is I shrink it down so I can sort of look at the whole page and the whole composition. And then if I'm seeing something, like when something catches my eye that I kind of want to investigate further, so I'll zoom in real quick and look at it and then zoom back out and then zoom in. So that's what that is. I'm not just going crazy. Hulk smash. Maybe use the Sound Machine app. Oh, like natural sounds. Now I gotta have music. I gotta have a thing. What I really need is I need like Mysterious Universe playing in the background. That would be, yeah, that'd be great actually. I just need to get, yeah, that's what I need to do is I need to get big enough and have enough subscribers that I can just ask Ben and Aaron to Skype in. That'd be cool. Pretty dang good. What's all this business? Oh, there we go. Wrong layer. Wow, you guys, I've been Skyping I've been live streaming now for almost exactly 30 minutes. Where's my internet money? For crying out loud. I'm supposed to be getting internet money for this by now. Is that how that works? I am going to take a picture and post it on the Instagram. And then I'm going to print it out and I'm going to put it on my fridge. think I'm going to start calling this Isoban live stream drawing stuff and looking at his phone. Hey, look, there's you. Look. Hey, hello, Internet. Woo! There we go. Natural sounds, he's exploding. There's a fart joke in there somewhere, Kevin. Live streaming. Talk amongst yourselves. I should give it to my mom for her fridge. It's not a bad idea, that one. Hello, Governor. Think that would increase my viewer count? If I adopted this kind of medieval, begging your pardon, my lord. I do believe ladles and jelly spoons that this drawing is approaching its conclusion. I need to put some. I need to give some love to the scraps. What once were his pants. Once again, bear in mind, I have no idea what I'm doing. Inside jokes, probably not so much. What are you talking about? You're talking about my old medieval crone voice? Begging your pardon, my lord. You know, I think that. Hello, governor. All right, take it easy, Kevin. Thanks for stopping in. Sponsor? Not really. You know, when you see the Hulk wearing really battered, torn pants like this, I can't help but wonder, like, okay, so that's the state of his pants. Like, is his underwear just kind of barely hanging on under there? Like, are they just, is it just like he's reduced his tighty whities to like a thong? Or does Bruce Banner, like, knowing what he's gonna have to deal with, is just not even bother with underwear? Does he just go commando all the time? Because the Hulk, like, just, you know, spends him out of house and home, going through new pairs of underwear. What would a Hulk fart be like? Can you imagine the almighty destruction? I mean, really, I didn't specify exactly what's happening in the image here. So maybe what we are seeing, maybe this is Hulk fart. I may have to rename it because I've called it Hulk Smash. But maybe it needs to be. Oh, holy cow! I just saw on my phone popped up. I get notifications for new Joe Rogan. He's interviewing Robert Downey Jr. That ought to be interesting. Man, Rogan. He's definitely the 21st century's Johnny Carson, isn't he? Any kids that might eventually watch this are going to be like, who? You know what? I think I need some clouds. Let's see. I may hate this, so if I do it and then I take it off, that's why. Let's see. I know I've got some cloud brushes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. It's a little Photoshoppy for me. It's not bad. Yeah, it's subtle. It's subtle. I think it. It's not bad. I just don't want it to. I just don't want it to scream. You know, computer. All right. Well, I think that may do it. At least until I come back to it later and change everything. Now I got to do the most important part. And it's funny how often I'm like, I have no idea what to do about this. Gonna Add a new layer. Usually sign on the right, but it's kind of blocked up over here. Actually, I wonder what this would look like. Oh, no, I think I prefer that. I think that is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. So let me export this out real quick. I think we're good. I think that works. All right. Well, this was fun, and I mean that. Actually, this is fun. I really can't wait until I'm talking with people while I do this. Last night, me and my buddy Kevin Skyped in, and it was a good time. It really was. So I can definitely see the benefit of that. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. I want to at least do one, maybe two of these a week. But frankly, really, I'd like to do them almost every other night. I've got other work that I do, but yeah. And eventually, what I'm going to be adding is I'm going to add a shop onto my website, which is currently I'm still building. And in the shop, you'll be able to buy prints of the stuff that I do here. And then obviously, if you're watching this now, we're rolling up on 45 minutes. Hit that like and subscribe button, and please, by all means, share the video if you dug it. I'll be doing some smaller stuff too, some sort of bite-sized stuff. I'm still trying to sort of work out what I want to do about that. But definitely subscribe. Also check me out on Instagram. I do post quite often on Instagram. Not quite every day, but pretty darn close. So check that out. And yeah, hey, if you did happen to stumble across this and watch it, then thanks for doing it. Hope you had a good time. Gonna be doing it again very soon. I will be posting. Be sure to hit the subscribe bell too, so you can get a notification, and that'll let you know that I'm about to start streaming or I've posted a video. I think that's how that works. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, so thanks, and until next time, we will,